Lettings or buying mistakes. Bad, unkept gardens, roundabouts, frontal gardens behind, environmental, unkept. Hi guys, welcome to this channel. I'm Adrian. We are looking at mistakes in letting properties. So what are the mistakes we will be making in buying or letting our properties? First, whatever property we are about letting, the outer part, the outer space, however, will tell us how good or important it is for us to move into such specific property. I mean, the gardens, you have the frontal gardens behind and all will tell you if it's good enough for you to move into a property. However, I'm using this property as a for instance. Now, the frontal garden, the garden itself have higher elevation compared to the footpaths. So, stay with me while we look through this property. This is the ISO. At the side you can see the floor with too many grasses, so unkept. This is the storehouse. The door is so bad. Storehouse that could house important things, not properly kept. These are mistakes in letting property. Slabs, so bad. Woods, rusted. The walls, unprepared. This is meant to take in vital items of the household. Call it food or important toiletries and stuff, Being here, it doesn't worth it. At the end, we'll look at the cost. Does the entire property worth the cost that is placed on this property? However, to let you know, this property is fixed at 1,500 and however it's a 2-bed space. It doesn't have a wardrobe. The feigned wardrobe is meant to have houses things that could eventually even explode and there will be casualty. Tanks that at this point are meant to have been relocated from the top to the bottom of the house. Well, I think it is pertinent, if I would say, for one to locate someone that is into managing properties. I mean, if you have a property to give out, you have to look at someone who is well schooled and someone who have an expertise and have interest in managing your property, because such a person will know what to fix and where to fix to make the property attractive. Now, this is the garden behind. The mistakes in this garden is that for someone that moves into this place, you won't be able to dry your clothing. There are no poles, there are no lines to be able to, after washing, to dry clothing. So what do? What is the owner of this property expecting or expected, of the would-be tenant that will take such a property? Is he expecting for the tenant to help him to fix a pole and to fix lines? Well, that should be in the mind of the owner. Well, the owner, as a matter of fact, may not have some of these ideas, since he has entrusted this particular property into the hands of an agent, and agent that is meant to look after completely what interest also the house, or what will pick the interest of someone who is coming to let the place. Now, this is the living room. You can see there are patches on the wall there, and that is going to be continuous because we will be going up there. You will discover there is a tank up there, and by so doing, that is the leakage from the tank that brings such those stains on the wall. So such a property, you will be expected to keep painting, using paint to try to wipe off those stains on the wall. So this is also one of the things that is obviously wrong about this property. Thirdly, when one is preparing a place for lettings, all of these, like the railings, these wood railings we are seeing with patches, shouldn't have been there. All of these should have been added some form of paint, to gloss over those faded aspects of the wood, as we could see. So please stay with me. I'm Adrian. We are looking at mistakes in lettings. Mistakes in lettings with Adrian. Please like, share, and comment on this subject matter. This is important. So this is the kitchen. Now the mistakes or the reasons further why this place isn't good enough for lettings is that for a standard kitchen, there should be lockers. The slabs, the lockers, where items, utensils can be kept, for safety. This does not have them. Also, the cooker there is completely broken. However, we don't know the year this particular cooker was produced, but it is so bad that using this may cause fire into such property. So this is a danger in lettings. So this is the reason, part of the reason why this is not good enough for lettings. Well, this is the washroom. It is an attachment, as you can see from the top. mistakes in lettings? Or do we say bad properties that are out there for lettings and at exorbitant prices? This property, except for the fact that economy is changing, this property shouldn't be more than 800, 900, or at most £1,000. The staircase, the cushions or carpet there is so old and required changes. However, it requires to be changed. Now this is the washroom, the main washroom. There is no shower curtains. There is no railings. Well, people, however, I may come in with my shower curtain because I have my taste, but there should be a railing that would accommodate my shower curtain. So if I'm coming into such property, I have to produce railing, I have to produce shower curtain. Then when I'm going, I have to take off railings and take off shower curtain. So this is another bad aspect of lettings. So this is one of it that says this place is not good enough for lettings. Now this is meant to be a laundry room, but the agent converted this to be a 3-bed space. Well, this is less than how many meters? Not even a little child's bed would you have to squeeze into such a place. The child himself will be squeezed. So, well, however, this is not a room. This is just a laundry room. But this is part of the reason the agent have fixed this price to be 1,500, which is so enormous and so sad. So these are part of bad aspects of lettings. So we'll be looking at the rooms. This is one of it. There is no wardrobe. It is so open. However, in a modern apartment, there is meant to be a full-size wardrobe to accommodate properties, clothing, as well as other things, but it's missing. Now we look at the garden of the neighbors of neighboring compound compared to this particular property that is out for lettings. That is what the standard should be. But however, this is what we have. So job so much to be done. So no to such a letting. This is a bad aspect of lettings. The place should be properly prepared for whoever is prepared to come into this space. That is, gardens all trimmed, all prepared. So we're going into the other room. Let's see. This is the entry point. Yeah, that's the heater, that's the vent, that's the pole. Well, manageable if you may, for curtains. Then this is the wardrobe. Let's see how it is. Whoa! This is so bad. Who will live in this room? Is it the kids or is it the parents? whoever is in such a place is in intense danger with such a cylinder in here in the room. As a matter of fact, this is meant to be a wardrobe and should be bigger of a wardrobe, but that is what you have. And this is put at 1,500. You convert some of these currencies into currencies in Africa, like in Nigeria. This is about 3 point something million naira in a calendar month.